Hello, welcome to Harris Football. I'm Dave Hewitt, and this week we're going to talk about what the heck is going on in Kansas City. Before the season, I never would have believed on a Monday night showdown between Kansas City and the Giants it was going to go all the way down to the wire. Would you? It seemed like programming-wise, that was about showing off a high-octane offense, not like the Giants in Kansas City were going to be equally matched behemoths. And I don't really think that's what happened, but the game did come down to the wire. I'm seeing a reaction online to what happened as the Chiefs simply can't beat cover two, as if it's some miracle defense that QBs can't break down. And I don't think anything in the NFL is as simple as that, right? It's always going to come down to, yes, scheme, but personnel, discipline, play calling, a little bit of luck. There's a lot of things that go into anything that's happening in the NFL every week. So makes me question what's really going on, because something clearly is up. The Chiefs came back into the season with basically the same personnel, but the offense is not firing on all cylinders like it used to. So I figured it is worth investigating what's happening. Is it the cover two? But first, I wanted to kind of set the table by looking back at last year, what we were seeing from this offense when it wasn't facing two safeties deep. At the start of this play, this one might look like it's cover two, but it's not. The safety at the top of your screen is going to rush forward into coverage, giving Hill a one-on-one matchup with number 24, Carlton Davis. And Hill simply outruns him. The safety is pinned back in the center of the field, not knowing which side to back up, because Hardman's also running down the left side of the field. By the time he knew where the ball was going, it was already too late. It doesn't always have to be Hill, but that does help. Here, the Falcons are up 4 with 2 minutes left. The Falcons come out with a single safety, and the Chiefs are just going to make it look like they're throwing everything they got straight at the defender. Kelsey's running a dig route, and Hill is running an over to Kelsey's side. So at the snap, they start running their routes straight towards the safety. Once Hill's route has entered into Kelsey's area, Kelsey breaks and is wide open in the confusion. But so much focus went into covering the star players, Demarcus Robinson is left one-on-one, and Mahomes decides he wants it all and hits him for the touchdown. If you watch enough plays like these, I start to think, of course more teams are playing two safeties back in them. The alternative wasn't working. How many more plays like this do you want to see? Here, it looks like there's some more help deep, but really those corners at the top of your screen are just playing pretty far off the line. But this time, Hardman and Hill are going to run crossers. And honestly, it just causes a defensive breakdown. If you look, number 26, who starts by covering Hill, just backs off. You can see him point. He's trying to hand him off to someone. But Hill slips under Hardman's route, and the corner and safety don't trade off, so Hill ends up wide open. So what's the issue this year? Well, partly it is that they are really seeing less of those defensive looks. Here's a similar offensive setup to some of the plays we've checked out. They come out with 3 wide, plus Kelsey is in the slot. The Giants are playing 2 safeties back. Hardman motions, and you can tell they're playing zone in the middle because no one's following him. At the snap, both Josh Gordon and Tyreek Hill run straight at the safeties like we saw KC have guys do before. But there's more defenders deep on the field, so nothing breaks open easily. Hill is basically triple teamed. Josh Gordon sure doesn't do anything to get open, parking himself in a cluster of defenders. Mahomes doesn't see anything he likes, so he settles for an emergency throw to Williams. I want to look at this again from the end zone real quick. I just want to show it's not like Mahomes suddenly became a bad player because there's another safety on the field. That would be crazy. We can watch him running through all his progressions. You can clearly see him looking left to Josh Gordon, right to Hill and Kelsey, far right to Hardman, and then he's held the ball for so long he just has to take his release valve. And I think we're seeing lots of plays like this, where guys just aren't getting open. We've got 3 wide receivers on the left side, Hill, Robinson, and Hardman. As the play starts, Hill is clearly the first read. He does a little move to put his man off balance and cuts in. This is a good start, but wait. Unfortunately, there's another linebacker right there mucking up the play. So Mahomes needs to look for another option. What options? Look at his guys. Everyone is covered. He's looking for Robinson and Hardman, but they're not free. The scramble drill starts, and by now everyone's pretty far downfield and not getting open. They start to come back to him to help, but it's too late, and he just has to throw it away. This play looks like it's intended for Josh Gordon, right there at the top of your screen, but he never gets open. They lock him up with man coverage, and he's out of the play. Hill is headed for the end zone, but they keep the 2 safeties back, and he's covered. Mahomes makes the right play and settles for Hardman. I love this play because you can see how much attention Kelsey and Hill get. They've got 3 guys in place on Hill and 2 on Kelsey. Alternatively, could Mahomes have hit Darrell Williams at the bottom of the screen completely uncovered? Yeah, probably. But settling for this over and over in a game when guys aren't getting open, I think these kinds of plays are where we see the frustration start to set in because they aren't getting to move the ball vertically the way Mahomes and Reed are used to. And for what it's worth, this play was actually on a good day. They crushed Washington. But when they aren't having a good day, when they can't get what they want and the frustration starts to show, I think they get a little bit greedy to take their shots anyway. This is 1st and 10, and they're up by 4. There's no rush here. They don't need to move the chains all on one play. That's important context to why what happens feels so dumb to me. Hardman is at the top of the screen. He's going to run a safe little out route. Kelsey is going to cut it right across the middle, pulling many short-range defenders, and Hill is going deep. As the play unfolds, everything looks okay. Mahomes fakes the handoff and rolls out of the pocket. But look at the decision-making here. Hardman is right there, practically in front of Mahomes, already at the first down marker. And like I said, it's 1st and 10. There's no pressure to get it all in one chunk. But instead, Mahomes is going to go bigger. He wants Hill way downfield. If it works, great. This is going to be a touchdown. But even at this moment, Hill is practically 30 yards downfield. To lead his receiver properly, what's he going to do? Throw the ball 60, 70 yards against his body? But he takes the shot. It's a little underthrown and as much in danger of getting picked as it is being a completion. He had the easy money with Hardman and didn't take it. This is poor decision making. Honestly, this reminds me more of what a gamer does in Madden when things aren't going according to plan, more so than one of the best QBs in the league. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not frustration with settling for the short stuff. Maybe Mahomes just doesn't trust the other guys the way he does Hill and Kelsey. We see one of the common looks for this offense. There's Robinson, Hill, and Hardman on one side and Kelsey on the other. Hardman is going to run some motion stuff like he often does, and he's going to end up back on the same side. As the play starts, Kelsey and Hill are in the middle, and they're pretty well covered. But Robinson is streaking down the sideline. So, where do you think he's going with the ball? There's the safe pass to Hardman in the flat. Honestly, on the other side, Damian Williams is leaking out to be a short receiver too, but he's not in position in time. Mahomes must want it all, right? I just showed you how he goes for the big play. He's got Robinson one-on-one. Nope. He's going to Tyreek in the middle of the field, more or less covered by 2 guys. Hill does what he can to get a hand on it, but he can't bring it in. Why go to Hill? Is it a trust issue? Is the frustration not what the defense is giving him, but with having to settle for the other guys on his team? On this one, Kelsey is clearly the first read. You can see Mahomes lock his eyes in on him. He waits for Kelsey, waits for him, and then he sees Pringle in the middle of the field. Mahomes throws it, but Pringle can't bring it in. And honestly, it's almost intercepted after it slips through his fingers. Now, did Mahomes throw it a little behind him? Yeah, it's not the most accurate throw. But this isn't as bad as it looks. Mahomes had to be expecting Pringle to stop. There is no reason for Pringle to keep running straight into the next zone. He would be trained to stop there in between it. And Mahomes is going off of expectations, and Pringle is not on the same page as him. This play is going to go down as an incomplete to Hill. But I want you to watch Pringle. He's lined up in tight on the left side of the line. This time, he's just going to do a little curl and actually sit down in his spot. But he's actually fully setting up a shop there. As the play unfolds, he's got 3 guys around him, and he's just kind of bouncing in place. What is he doing? He's got to come back or move or something, right? Out of frustration, Mahomes just chucks it down the field after he can't check it down to his release valve. A quick break to say thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring this video. They've got a great promotion going for anyone who lives in one of those magic states like I do where sportsbook is legal. If you put $5 on any team and your team wins straight up, just on the money line, you get $200 in free bets. That means you can win $200 for a $5 bet. If sportsbook isn't legal in your state yet, DraftKings won't leave you empty-handed. You can always play the DFS contest. In fact, we've got the Harris football contest that's starting over right now. The winner of the next 4 weeks cumulative will, besides winning money on DraftKings, win a free Zoom meeting with Chris. So either way, download the DraftKings or the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code HarrisTube. Throw down $5 on any NFL game and win $200 in free bets. That's right, that's promo code HarrisTube this week on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Getting back into it, does Kansas City only face cover two? No, of course not. That's not how football games go. But the Giants did run a ton of plays with two safeties back, and it was on national TV, so everyone could see it. So I think it's come to the general public's attention, at least to the echo chamber covering the NFL. So we're going to hear a lot about this narrative, and it's going to be pushed, I think, a lot over this week and the next week. But I did look into it. They faced a single safety so much more last year. One source I checked showed them facing cover two all of 135 times last regular season. That's all 16 games. They've already faced it over 120 times this year. And that's only a small slice of what I pulled. I didn't roll up any variations people might filter these plays into. Tampa 2, man with two safeties. So what can they do about it? Let's take a look at some of the other offenses around the league. And when they encounter cover two, or at least keeping two safeties back in some form or another, here's the same week. Bills versus Dolphins. Cole Beasley is going to end up being the target, and he's lined up to the left. He runs a short slant route, but hits the brakes at the top of it to get himself some freedom, which gives Josh Allen a window to pass into. Cole Beasley was very involved in the game, as any box score can tell you, because he ended the day with 10 catches. They exploited this a lot. But here's a simple alternative option. Same game. Bills are in a 2nd and 3 situation during the 2-minute drill before halftime. Moss is going to run out of the backfield. He'll catch the quick toss from Allen. Moss will easily grab 8 yards here and take it out of bounds. As I was working on this, my immediate thought was, okay, but if the argument is that Mahomes only has 2 real weapons he trusts, how do other teams handle it? What about Rodgers? There's a constant complaint that the Packers don't give him enough weapons in the receiving corps. Well, let's look at this play. Since he plays 2 safeties back, the Packers only line up 2 out wide and have a ton of blockers. Their receivers are running downfield as decoys to pull the defenders away to set up A.J. Dillon in the flat. This is on 2nd and 7, but they end up getting 24 yards by taking what the defense is set to give them. Or here, it's 3rd and 10 for the Packers, so they come out with 4 wide receivers. Their main weapon, Devontae Adams, number 17, is at the bottom of your screen. On the opposite side, Allen Lazard is out wide. Robert Tonyan is going to pick up a block and actually get knocked on his butt. Both these other guys are going to be sent deep and pull the attention of the safety help. All of this is happening, and old man Randall Cobb, okay, he's not that old, he's younger than me. But anyway, old man Randall Cobb is able to run a pretty basic square in route, but because he keeps moving, he eventually outpaces the defender, and it gives Rodgers the opening for this throw. And of course, they don't have to pass it. Green Bay has Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. They're set up to be a more balanced team. They still pass it a ton. Everyone does now. That's what the league is. But their line is set more for passing and running. Their resources don't seem to be as all in on the passing game working, at least not as much as the Chiefs are. Whether that was by intent or necessity doesn't change the fact that KC's ground game does not work like Green Bay's ground game. And that's a big reason cover 2 fell out of vogue. It was too easy to just rip off chunks of yardage on the ground. These aren't exotic run plays I'm showing you. But if you just rip off 5 or 6 yards at a time, you can move the chains and you're going to be fine. So let's look at Damian Williams trying to do it against the Giants this week. The Giants continue to play 2 safeties back, so the Chiefs are going to run it at them. But Williams isn't getting the luxury of running through as big a holes as we saw the Packers giving their runners. These yards look a lot harder to come by. I should say, it's not just the line. The running backs aren't the same guys either. But these plays are going for 4 yards. If you can do that enough, you're going to be okay. But this offense isn't built to be okay. They're built to be high flying. Heck, even when it works, when the line gives Williams enough to get him into the center of the field, unfortunately, he just slips on the ground and goes down untouched. The record book might not show this as an untouched because maybe the D lineman, number 98 there, got a hand on him as he came out of the hole. But if you watch it, that's clearly not why he went down. He just tried to make a move and slipped and fell over. I don't show this to pick on the guy. I actually wanted to show their longest run of the night against 2 safeties, and I think this is it. So is it all doom and gloom for Kansas City? No, I'm not crazy. Honestly, I think we've seen them do just fine against this type of defense, just not consistently enough. It wasn't hard to find examples of them making it work. Just look at the opening drive from week 8. I picked this because I want to show you that they have ways to beat cover 2. If the defense is playing with 2 safeties back, then there's usually the soft underbelly available to the offense. If they're challenging you with a bend but don't break defense, it's on the offense to meet the challenge with some dink and dunk long drives down the field. If offense is all about scheming to get your guys open, and the defense is simply worried about stopping your bread and butter big plays downfield, what's your counter? You need to have a counter punch, and at times, Kansas City has shown that they have it. How about this play? There's a temptation to go big, or an option to settle for less. Could Mahomes force this one down the middle of the field? Maybe. He's got two guys there, both Kelsey and Pringle. But instead he's patient and opts for the short play to the outside. He still picks up 7 yards on 1st and 10, more than enough, and he makes consistent plays like this. Kansas City can move the ball down the field. Here's another good one. Hill is going to run his route directly into the area of the two safeties, and Mahomes watches it unfold. When he sees there's nothing there, he makes a good, quick decision to check it down to Williams. So am I leaving you with the impression that Mahomes simply has to make better decisions and everything is fixed? I sure hope not, because it's not just one thing. Here's a play designed for Kelsey. It would be easy to show this play and say, look, he's staring down Kelsey. He's not even looking at other options. But let's run this play again so we can see everything. Is anyone else beating their man coverage? Are the guys on the team giving him enough to work with? If the complaint is that focusing on Hill and Kelsey is what worked in the past, but that's not working anymore, well, the other guys have to give him something to work with. Otherwise, how can their usage rate go up? And does it always have to be short? Is it impossible to beat a defense for a longer play when they start with two safeties back? No, of course not. Take a look here at week 6. There's two safeties back. Hill is lined up on the left side at the top of your screen. Hardman is alone on the right, there at the bottom of the screen. As the play develops, Hill is breaking free across the center of the field, and the safety has to come up to help, which frees up Hardman to try and win one-on-one with his speed. Go fast and run straight, that's totally in his bag of tricks, and it clearly can work out fine, at least at times. Next week, the Chiefs have to face the Packers, and it looks like the Packers are going to be without Aaron Rodgers on offense, and I clearly don't know what the Packers' internal defensive game plan is. But if they come out like the Giants did and just say, beat us short, we're not giving up anything big, it could be a very, very long day for Kansas City. The Giants basically sat back all game, and they just sat back there and didn't really get a lot of pressure on Mahomes. Green Bay is going to get a lot more pressure on Mahomes, and if Casey and Mahomes can't adjust, this could get ugly. Thank you for watching. You know the drill. Like, leave a comment, subscribe if you aren't subscribed to the channel already. Keep getting videos like this all season long. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you real soon.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.